Hey beer and brew fans, and welcome to Something About Beer. It's 7 AM, it's brew day, and it's a Vienna Lager, so let's get into it. So here we go, time to mash in. We're mashing in around 5.5 kilos of grain in total today. And we have 3.5 kilos of Vienna malt. That's smelling amazing. It really is smelling nice and malty and yeah, lovely and aromatic. Going in nice and gently here to avoid any dough balls. I've been getting pretty good efficiency on my mashes recently, so don't want to jinx that. Getting around 80% efficiency in the mash, which is really good. I think it's because I've started to crush my own grain. That's definitely been a game changer for me. Crushing my own grain in terms of efficiency, at least. I actually won a bag of malt in a homebrew competition, and it came already crushed, and I made a beer with that, and my efficiency dropped again down to, I think it was about 72% from memory. So it'll be interesting to see what efficiency I get here, because this is the next brew that I did. Or I've done after that brew that I got 72%, but I've crushed all the grains in this, so yeah, let's see what that comes out like. Time to weigh out the hops. It's a pretty simple, straightforward hop profile today. We're looking at just 3 hop additions, fairly traditional. We're going in with 7 grams of Magnum at 60 minutes. That's going to give us a small amount of bittering that we want at the beginning of the boil. Yeah, gives us a pretty clean bittering. That's what I found, at least with Magnum. And then for the second edition and the third edition, actually, we're using Tettnang. It's a hop that I find is nice and spicy. It's not an overpowering hop. It's quite spicy, a little bit of floral and herb in there. Yeah, smells really nice. Yeah, you can smell the floral, the herb in there as well. So the second edition is at 30 minutes and we want 20 grams of that. Not a lot at all. There we go. So that's the second edition, and then the third edition is again Tettnang, and we're going to go for 10 grams at 10 minutes. So all in all, we should see an IBU of around 23 here. Of course, I'm not looking for huge bittering at all. It's a Vienna Lager at the end of the day, so nice amount of bittering just to balance the wort sweetness. That's what I'm looking for. Should get that roughly with what I'm doing here, hopefully. And we should also get some of those nice floral and spicy and herbal notes coming through from the hops as well to balance out the malt sweetness. So we're going to be boiling for a traditional 1 hour today. Volume's looking good, pH was good. So yeah, let's see how the rest of the brew day goes. So in with the first hop addition. Seven grams of Magnum. In with the second hop addition, 30 minutes. We've got 20 grams of Tettnang. Final hop addition, 10 grams of Hallertau, and of course the the Irish moss going in as well. So we're cooling now. We should be down to pitching temperature, which I'm pitching at 15 degrees today. We should be down to that temperature in probably about 10 or 15 minutes. This double chiller that I made is pretty fast, so you can see it dropping fairly quickly there. So then it will be transferring into the fermenter and then pitching the yeast. So we're almost done cooling. Just wanted to show the colour of the wort. That's looking really nice. Very happy with that. Wort transfer time. It's looking nice in there. Transferring over very nicely. Colour is pretty good. Very happy with that. And we're down to about 13.7, so 14, nearly 14 degrees. Pitching at 15, so I think that's good. Got the temperature set in my fermentation chamber to 15, so I think we are all good. Pitch the yeast and then put it to bed for however long it takes. So here is my process. The CO2 will come out of the fermenter through there into the gas in post, and that will create pressure in the keg, of course, and then the liquid, which is basically Starsan in there, right to the top. The liquid will then be pushed out of the liquid post up and into that bucket, and then creating a oxygen-free keg for which I can transfer the beer once it's ready. So brew day finished. Beer's away in the fermentation chamber, and I'm just reviewing the end of brew day stats. Again, everything was more or less hit, so I'm very happy with all of that. Couple of topics to note. pH was 5.22. We were aiming at 5.34, so that was slightly lower than what we wanted, but still within decent range, so I'm not worried about that at all. I hit all of the pre-boil gravity, post-boil gravity, OG and all of that, so that's pretty good, give or take. So OG, for example, should have been 1049 and I got 1048. Pretty good there. The one thing that I was very pleased about again was my mash efficiency, which was at 80% again, and that's gone back up versus the last beer I did. And the last beer I did, actually, I brewed with some pre-crushed malt that I got as a prize for winning a homebrew competition, actually. And I'm pretty convinced that it's the grain crush that I'm doing, because I generally crush my own grain, but obviously this bag of malt came pre-crushed, so you know, nothing I can do about that. But my my mash efficiency on that brew was actually down to 70, I think 72, something like that, from memory. It might be a little bit different, but I'm back up to 80, and the grain was crushed, you know. I crushed the grain, sorry. So yeah, I think that's probably the key, and definitely the way to go moving forward. So a pretty efficient and successful brew day. And yeah, it's now time for a beer. So the only thing left to say, of course, is thanks for tuning in, and until next time, cheers. If you like what we're doing here at Something About Beer, please subscribe and give the video a like. It really does help the channel out a lot. And don't forget to ring that bell so that you're alerted to new content we're putting out.